There's nothing new here. This is what these guys and these major political parties are all about. It's about taking care of themselves, taking money, sharing among themselves. So there's nothing surprising there. And what you're getting is the usual showboating. The administration needs to prove that they're not as bad as people make them feel. So you see some suspension here and there. But I don't know of anywhere within the administration or the regime that there's no sleaze going on. So these guys are a bunch of sleaze bags.
Now, I can make bold to let you know that the reason why our government is failing is nothing more than you watching this video and myself. Why did I say that? Because most of us has developed a mediocre mentality to begin to appreciate the government for doing what they were voted to do. I know that some people will say that, what about those who stepped into government and never did anything? Here's where the problem is. We actually have this mediocre mindset to feel that they do us good for giving us the dividend of democracy. I'd like you to watch Omoyele Sowore, where he has gone ahead to shed more light about the government announcement, where the Tinubu's government went ahead to say that they are going to be reducing the delegates that will be following the president, the minister, and other political office holders. Yes, he has unveiled a lot for you to see the perspectives that an average Nigerian should have when they begin to see this government act the way they do. Please do want to go to the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about Omoyele Sowore's suggestion, and we're going to be continually here to serve you. My name is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV.
So are you saying that when an administration comes in or a person comes in and they're doing the work to return things to what ought to be, we shouldn't applaud them?
No, I'm saying that before they came into office, they actually were the ones who caused the problem.
The
political party that created the problem is this party. The APC has been in power for how many years? 8 years before now. Olubunmi Ojo himself was in the National Assembly. So what is new? These guys are the same guys, the same network of people, the same manpower. So they recruit from that pool. That's where they got all these Betta Edu and Olubunmi from. They're all part of the APC machinery. This is not the first. We are just hearing about them now because they become a little bit overexposed. This is what they do. Passing money and sharing money. That's what they do in National Assembly. That's what they do at the state levels. That's what they do everywhere. But, they just got overexposed. That's why somebody is flying from Abuja to Lokoja. They must have forgotten that there's no airport there. But that's the culture of impunity. People get so caught up in it, they get away with so much that at times they even forget the minutiae of what is wrong, Otherwise, you at least remember that you can't fly from Abuja to Lokoja. Yeah, right. Because there's no airport there. Except if there's a seaplane. But then where did it take off from Abuja, to land in the confluence there? But this is what they do, and that's why I'm saying getting things right is not this way. Because this is what we pay for as taxpayers. That's why people get elected and appointed into office. Not to come and show off, is to do things right. And they know they're the ones who caused the problem. So probably that was the reason why they were able to convince people that they are doing the right things, because they caused the problem in the first place. They're the ones who got your passport messed up in such a way that you can't get it. And then they come around and offer a few passports.
Is your argument then that there's nothing to commend,
Nothing.
Even with the suspension of Betta Edu,
it's a revolving door. You remove a Betta Edu, there's going to be a better who can still better that will come in. This is what Buhari did when he came into office. The whole initial garagara, as we call it. Oh, this person has been. There was even at that point they used to say that Buhari had body language. He didn't need to speak, and things were falling in place. And then suddenly, look at what the body language turned Nigeria into. So there's always an excuse from us as a people to just make things not work the way they should. Instead of holding people's feet to fire, we start praising little things that don't matter.
Yeah, it might be from governance, from the average Nigerian. Because
no, it's not. What is an average Nigerian looking for? When you talk about passport, how many Nigerians travel? How many people need passport? We have 200 million people. We are talking about maybe a few million people who apply to get passports, who can afford to travel. What about the 190 million more who are living on $1 per day? Why are we not talking about that? How about their schools, their roads? I mean, don't you see what is going on? There are people who are stuck in their villages as we speak because they can't afford to come back after Christmas and New Year's. And we are here talking about people who are sharing money. And who are still sharing money as we speak? They're going to be sharing this money to the NNPC, customs, immigration. They're going to be stealing money at the central bank this money. There's going to be money moving around. So they are happy that you are distracted, right? That, oh, there's one Betta Edu that's just been suspended and everybody's happy about it. Like I said, there are thousands of Betta Edus there. And the big kahuna himself, this is what they used to do in Lagos before they moved to Abuja.
It's a little scary.
Sharing money.
And this is a little scary. And I probably would like to know what, if you were in that position, what would be the first steps to tackle a situation like this? The government, of course, cannot be everywhere at the same time.
So let me tell you a secret on how what is happening has happened. When the Tinubu regime came to power, they enacted a supplementary budget.
Yes.
Huge amount of money was allocated. They must finish that money by March. You understand? So they must finish that money by March. It is that money that's sharing now that got everybody entangled now. And they have a new budget that's coming in. So that money is what they're trying to finish. Are you getting my point? So nobody's talking about this. They must exhaust their supplementary budget. But why set up a supplementary budget only to be stolen? It's what I would have done as a regime. And I would not have allowed this kind of abuse to take place because, as I always say, before we go to enforcement, we ought to have primary prevention in place.
Omoyele Sowore, a prominent Nigerian activist and journalist, has been vocal about the challenges facing Nigeria, particularly the pervasive issue of corruption and mediocrity. Let's explore his compelling insight on this critical matter. Firstly, Sowore highlights the deep-rooted issue of corruption in Nigeria. He argues that the corruption has become a cultural norm, permeating various aspects of society, from politics to everyday life. We'll delve into specific examples and statistics that shed light on the scale of this problem.
By Yosh, and they said it without beating an eye that they already bought the Yosh on credit. And I was saying, I've never seen Tinubu inside a cane or talk less of being in a Yosh. Why are you buying a Yosh? But it was when they started the supplementary budget, they had planned what you saw now. And that's why I'm saying the part you saw about Betta Edu and Tinubu, that's probably the smallest part of it. The big item budgets with National Assembly that recently increased the budget by themselves by several billions, if not trillions. This sleaze is going on as we speak. It hasn't stopped. It's not like after removing Edu, everybody removed their hands from that cookie jar. Everybody's still stealing.
Okay.
Yes.
They did give an explanation about the presidential yacht and how it had already been purchased, but it wasn't a yacht in the sense of it being a yacht, but had other functions. We'll come back to that. Let's talk about now cutting the cost of governance.
Yes.
Would you consider the president slicing travel expenditure by 60% as a step in the right direction?
What is 60%? It's the question the media ought to be asking.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
the Vanguard reported about 15 billion for 2024. I think it was, I'm not sure maybe the Punch or so, or the Cable that reported about 7 billion or so.
Okay.
So they are conflicting figures, but it runs into billions.
So nobody knows what it is. This is part of what I say is distraction, and people don't ask questions. So when you say 60%, are you cutting the number of people that travel?
Yeah, that's one.
And how many usually should travel?
Yeah, that's how we do not have a clear picture on.
If you are going to the United Nations, for instance, and you take 600 people with you, and you have cut it by 60%, how many people are those? You're still taking with you people who have no business going to the United Nations. So how does that help you? What if you cut it on the surface and you're going to hide it somewhere else, like you did with COP25?
28.
Yes, 28.
Yeah.
You had ministries, departments of government still bringing in people who have definitely nothing to do but to go and collect ESTA codes. So these things are not as clear as they should be. And that's why the media has a role to ask these questions and to keep an eye on them.
I'm hoping that we can actually get across to Ajurin Gelale and he'll be willing to grant us an interview. But let's take a look at his explanation of what exactly is being cut when we refer to travel expenditure being cut by 60%.
It will be conducted in the following fashion. 1, the official trips that will be undertaken within the country, that is when Mr. President or the Vice President travels to any state within the country, the massive bills that accrued due to allowances and ESTA code for security detail coming from Abuja going and traveling into those states will be massively cut due to the directive of the President that the security outfits within states, whether it be police, DSS, or branches of the military, will frontline his protective detail when he travels to those states. Additionally, when any international travel is being approved, the following limits have been placed on all ministers of the Federation. 4 members of their staff, appointees and the like, will be allowed to travel with a minister on an official trip. For heads of agency, that will be limited to 2 members of staff allowed to travel on an official trip. Furthermore, the numbers that the President has now approved for official travel with him that will apply to his principal staff are as follows. On international trips, the President has directed that no more than 20 individuals be allowed to travel with him. That number will be cut down to 5 in the case of the First Lady. 20 for the President, 5 for the First Lady. Additionally, the number in the entourage on official international trips for the Vice President will be cut to 5. The number that will be limited, the number that will be placed as a limit on the wife of the Vice President is also 5. In terms of local trips, the President has approved a new limit of 25 members of staff.
All right. During Gelale, they're breaking down the adjustments to the President's travel team and how, he says it's been cut down by 60%. I just want to remind everyone of the convoy that escorted the President to the mosque 2 Fridays ago, I think.
There's another Friday.
Fridays ago. Yes. Exactly. And that was a convoy of, a billion SUVs. So I just to quickly mention that. Mr. Sowore, so are you impressed with this?
No, not at all. So what you don't know, but some of us know, is that when the President is traveling anywhere, he takes with him governors, ministers. He doesn't have control over how many people the governors take with him. So this is how these guys operate. But they also have an advanced team of over 40 people sometimes that will go secure hotels, scan areas, security people. All these people need to be eliminated. Any country where you have an embassy shouldn't need an advanced team. And when they say 4 people need to travel with the minister, why? Why do you need 4 people? Can't the minister travel by himself? When he wasn't minister, he was traveling by himself. Why can't he now travel by himself? But it's beyond just the president. It's a culture of waste in the country. Ask yourself, how many policemen, DSS, soldiers are attached to a governor? Every governor has over 200.
Yes, from his words so far, you can see that Sowore doesn't just stop at corruption. He also addresses the issue of mediocrity. According to him, a culture of mediocrity has taken root in Nigeria, affecting governance, education, and various sectors. As you can see from his projections, let's delve into some of Omoyele Sowore's proposed solution to break free from the shackles of corruption and mediocrity. From political reforms to grassroots initiatives, Sowore has outlined a roadmap for change. We hope that these evaluations, feasibility, and potential impact on these solutions will be adopted by the government in power. Frankly, Omoyele Sowore's insight provides a powerful lens through which we can examine Nigeria's struggle against corruption and mediocrity. If you found this discussion enlightening, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content by subscribing to our channel. Until next time, thank you for joining us in this journey of exploration and understanding. My name is Moses Warrior, and this is Think Tank TV.